Next opening maybe is Shakur Stevenson, I don't know. When he send me a contract, I'm ready, 100% ready. I have 40 knockout. No, this guy only push. I know, I'm serious.
Shakur Stevenson called out Teofimo Lopez for a 140-pound showdown, sparking a heated online exchange.
Shakur Stevenson responded to Teofimo. Teofimo said, #boxing, this is how I'm feeling. And he posted Javier Herrera, who was calling out Shakur Stevenson.
As Gervonta Davis continues to stay silent, Shakur Stevenson is looking elsewhere for a major fight. While a bout against his close friend Keyshawn Davis seems unlikely and Lomachenko's next move remains uncertain, Stevenson appears to have found a new target, someone with ties to Davis. Teofimo Lopez has had past sparring sessions with Gervonta Davis, with clips of their exchanges surfacing online. Now, Stevenson has turned his attention to Lopez, seemingly setting the stage for a highly anticipated showdown. Fans quickly took notice of the interactions between the two fighters, sparking speculation about a potential matchup. Stevenson, who has already claimed titles in 3 different weight classes, has no issue moving up to a 4th. His recent win over Josh Padley proved he remains dominant, while Lopez is preparing to face Arnold Barboza Jr. on May 2nd. If everything falls into place, a fight between Stevenson and Lopez could be one of the biggest in the sport.
Shakur Stevenson is the WBC 135-pound champion, and Teofimo Lopez is the WBO 140-pound champion. So, but at the time that before Shakur was at 135, Teo was at 135, and they kind of both moved up together. But they are considered for sure to be 2 of the best lightweights, 140-pounders in the world, so I think it'd be a fantastic fight.
To gauge interest, Stevenson unexpectedly called out Lopez, prompting a response from the Brooklyn-born fighter. Before taking on Padley, Stevenson had been considering a bout with lightweight contender Javier Herrera, who made it clear he was eager for a fight. In a passionate statement, Herrera said, "I'm here no for no play. You know what I'm saying? I'm here for no playing. Send me a contract. I know, baby. Send me a contract. I will kill you. Send me a contract." Lopez reacted to Herrera's challenge by posting, "Boxing, this is how I'm feeling," which led Stevenson to make his own move. He directed his attention to Lopez, stating, "How about you fight me next, Teo? Let's line it up. We both do business with the same people. I'll go 140 for this on God." Lopez, never one to back down from a verbal exchange, teased back, tweeting, "Shakur Stevenson, I got 14 knockouts. I know, baby." Stevenson fired back, insisting, "Run it, nigga. Let's make it happen." The back and forth has only added fuel to the fire, with Stevenson confidently claiming he will be a 4-division champion by the time he turns 28 in June. He made it clear that Lopez needs to either agree to the fight or stop bringing up his name. This ain't the first time Stevenson has expressed his willingness to face Lopez. Speaking on Sean Porter's podcast, he confirmed he was open to fighting at 140 pounds, but not at 147. However, Lopez has shown mixed emotions about the potential matchup. He recalled their amateur days, specifically a moment at the 2015 National Golden Gloves tournament in Las Vegas, where Stevenson reportedly didn't handle a loss well. Lopez hinted that he wouldn't want to be the one to give Stevenson his first professional defeat.
I've seen Shakur lose in the amateurs back, because we all from that class.
Yeah.
And it ain't a good look, man. There was this one time, especially here in Vegas, National Golden Gloves, like 2015. Same year me and Jerron Ennis Boots won. And Shakur, man, he lost it. He lost it, man. He lost to Ruben Villa, and then he wanted to go up to one of the, I think he did, wanted to the top, to the rooftop of the hotel, and he wanted to jump off. Yeah.
Wow.
I ain't trying to have actual blood on my hands.
Despite any hesitation, the fight seems increasingly possible. While Lopez is currently focused on his upcoming bout with Barboza, Stevenson has made it clear he's waiting for his turn. His message was straightforward: he's willing to move up in weight, and there are no obstacles in the way. If Lopez emerges victorious against Barboza, the boxing world will be watching closely to see if he answers Stevenson's challenge. The Newark native has already proven himself in multiple weight divisions, and taking on Lopez at 140 pounds would solidify his place as one of the sport's most ambitious fighters. However, when it comes to Shakur Stevenson versus Gervonta Davis, Teofimo Lopez said that the big puncher from Baltimore beats all comers in the lightweight ranks, though did say Stevenson could make it competitive. Teo said, "Tank is a good fighter for everyone out there who wants to see boxing. He has those things for those people. At 135, yeah, he beats all those guys. The only one that gives him a challenge is Shakur. Shakur Stevenson will give him a challenge. Because Shakur is technical where you gotta think more. Tank has been fighting C to B class fighters. Ryan Garcia is an A+ on media, social, but not as a boxer. We all know this." Coming to the fight between Stevenson and Tank Davis, Stevenson has long been vocal about his willingness to face Davis, even acknowledging that he is the B-side in the negotiations. Unlike many fighters who demand better financial terms, Stevenson made it clear that he was only interested in making the fight happen. Despite his persistence, Davis has been dismissive, questioning Stevenson's accomplishments in the sport. He has repeatedly downplayed Stevenson's resume, even going as far as comparing him unfavorably to Keyshawn Davis. At one point, Davis dismissed the idea of fighting Stevenson by asking what he had achieved and claiming that his fighting style lacked offense.
What's next then? Give me one name. I think I know who it's going to be because you keep saying, "Are you ducking me?" Who is it?
I want to fight Gervonta Tank Davis. I think that's the biggest fight in boxing, so let's make it happen.
Congratulations, Shakur.
Who have Shakur? What have Shakur done? What have he done in the sport? He haven't done nothing. The young one is looking more better than him.
Who that?
The Keyshawn. Keyshawn looking way more better than this. I keep screaming his name. He haven't done nothing. Keyshawn haven't even done nothing.
So what do you say to those who
I
might
keep
be
saying
afraid?
his name for?
So what do you say to those who might be saying that, Tank is afraid of Shakur?
Afraid of what? Afraid of what? Us fighters, if we're afraid of something, it gotta be somebody hitting us and hurting us. Like, he don't have no offense. Everything is defense. Defense only win in basketball and football. That shit in boxing.
With Davis now focused on a rematch against Lamont Roach Jr., his potential fight with Stevenson remains in limbo. His current weight class options are limited. A fight against Keyshawn Davis is unlikely due to their friendship, while Lomachenko remains a possibility. Yet Team Lomachenko appears to favor a bout with Davis instead, believing it would generate more excitement. Lomachenko's manager Egis Klimas was asked about potential opponents for his fighter's return. Klimas, who also manages heavyweight champion Alexander Usyk, explained that a matchup with Davis would be the better choice. He argued that Stevenson's defensive style could make for a less engaging fight, while Davis brings aggression and knockout power. His view was echoed by Davis's trainer Kenny Ellis, who agreed that Lomachenko and Davis would deliver more action in the ring.
Is that the number one fight that you would want? Would it be a Gervonta, or do you think it's more likely like a Shakur? What do you think?
Is the Shakur? You want to get
Okay, when you did that, are you talking just the financial standpoint, or do you mean like a skill set?
skill and financial?
So, okay, financial, I think everybody would agree with you.
Yeah.
Do you think Gervonta's skills are way better than Shakur's though?
He's a much better fighter, I think, my way. He's a upcoming fighter. Shakur, I'm not going to take anything from Shakur. Shakur is a very good fighter, but he is a bumper. He's a, he goes in the shell, he walks away, he runs away. Tank comes to fight.
However, Ellis did not discredit Stevenson's abilities. In fact, he gave the Newark-born fighter significant praise, stating that if Lomachenko and Stevenson were to meet in the ring, Stevenson would likely emerge victorious. He pointed out the difference in their defensive approaches, noting that Stevenson utilizes a longer-range counterpunching strategy, while Lomachenko relies on angles and forward movement. Given Lomachenko's recent performances, Ellis believes Stevenson's style would give him the advantage.
Shakur got like a looting, counter-punching defense, but Lomo have this engaging defense, angles, blocking, coming forward defense. So right now, I think Shakur get him. This is my opinion though, you know.
Interestingly, Stevenson and Lomachenko had a heated exchange last year at BMO Stadium in Los Angeles before Terence Crawford's fight against Israel Madrimov. Security had to intervene as the two exchanged words, further fueling speculation about a possible matchup.
Why you don't want to fight me? Let's go right now. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Come on. You're bluffing, bro.
Jamel Herring also weighed in on the conversation, sharing Ellis's assessment of Stevenson's fighting style. He explained that Stevenson's ability to control the pace frustrates opponents, forcing them to take unnecessary risks. Once Stevenson gains control, it becomes difficult for his opponents to recover. Given Lomachenko's recent struggles in maintaining defensive sharpness, this could prove to be a major challenge for the Ukrainian veteran. Jamel said, Shakur is going to rack up those rounds, and then it's going to get to a point he's going to frustrate you. He's going to make you come to him and open it up. Moreover, Kenny Ellis explained why Davis would have the upper hand over Stevenson. He acknowledged that both fighters possess high boxing IQs, but argued that Davis's knockout power gives him a significant advantage. He painted a scenario where both fighters find themselves trailing in the later rounds. In Davis's case, his punching power could instantly change the course of the fight. Stevenson, on the other hand, does not have the same level of knockout ability, making it more difficult for him to mount a comeback. According to Ellis, this disparity means that a fight between them cannot be considered a 50-50 matchup. He stated, they both can box. They both got a great IQ. Let's say Tank is behind and he got to get himself out of trouble, and that motherfucker's hammer is going to get him out of trouble. Now let's say Shakur's behind and he got to get himself out of trouble. How he gonna get himself out of trouble? He don't have no hammer, so they're not 50-50. They can't be 50-50. Abel Sanchez also weighed in on Stevenson's standing in the lightweight division. He still favors Davis over both Stevenson and Roach, suggesting that Roach has elevated himself to Stevenson's level. Sanchez argued that Stevenson needs to be more assertive in his fights, as his current approach might not be enough to deal with top-level opponents like Davis. He pointed out that Stevenson does not decisively win rounds in the way that is necessary to secure victories against aggressive fighters. While he does not believe Stevenson would be knocked out, he questions whether his style is active enough to win against elite competition.
I still like Gervonta over both guys in the next time. And I think Lamont kind of positioned himself in kind of in a tie for me with Shakur. Shakur has to be a little more forceful, I think, to deal with these guys. I don't think that his style can stay the way that it is now, or his approach. I'm sorry, not his style. His approach to the fight cannot stay the way that it is now and be able to deal with a Lamont or with Gervonta.
Okay, so you're saying like his style can't withstand like that pressure over 12 rounds? Is that like what?
No, he's just gonna have to win rounds. He just doesn't do enough to win rounds decisively. And against these guys are gonna do the things necessary to win the rounds.
Unless
not that he's gonna get knocked out or anything like that, but just not busy enough at times and too perfect.
Raleigh Romero, who previously shared the ring with Davis, questioned whether Stevenson could withstand the sheer power Davis brings to the table. He expressed doubt that Stevenson's defensive approach would be enough to protect him from Tank's relentless counterpunching. In Romero's view, Stevenson's tendency to avoid risk and focus on technical precision rather than aggression could ultimately leave him vulnerable against an explosive finisher like Davis.
Shakur, that guy will put anybody to sleep outside the ring, not inside the ring, because that's like he's the most boring fighter in the history of boxing. And they can say whatever the fuck they want, they can hype him up and all that stuff, but I really feel bad for him because there's no way they could put him on pay-per-view. He can't sell a fight.
Spencer Oliver and Adam Catterall have also expressed skepticism regarding Stevenson's ability to overcome Davis. Oliver believes that while Stevenson is undeniably skilled, Davis operates on an entirely different level in terms of power and finishing ability. He acknowledged Stevenson's technical brilliance, but argued that Davis's capacity to end fights with a single shot makes him the superior fighter. Catterall echoed similar sentiments, noting that while Stevenson is a beautiful technician, his cautious fighting style may not resonate with today's boxing audience. He pointed out that fans crave excitement, and Stevenson's reluctance to press for knockouts could hinder both his popularity and his ability to make a lasting impact in marquee matchups.
We live in a world of entertainment today, and people don't buy that. But yes, that is for the boxing purist, and you love watching what he does. But when you're talking about superstar status, you go Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis would take him out icing. Because I think it's all about levels. Davis, him, for me, on what I saw there.
Terrence Crawford has a different perspective. In an interview with The Ring, he shared his thoughts on the lightweight division, which features an impressive lineup of champions, including Stevenson, Davis, Lomachenko, and Keyshawn Davis. However, when asked to name the best fighter among them, he had no hesitation in choosing Stevenson. He said, "I talked to him, Stevenson, and told him just be yourself, you know, just keep winning. It doesn't matter what the naysayers say and what the people that's having certain agendas against him have to say." Crawford has consistently supported Stevenson, advising him to ignore critics and focus on winning. He believes that Stevenson is a unique talent whose style sets him apart from others. Unlike fighters who conform to traditional boxing approaches, Stevenson has developed a style of his own, making him difficult to beat. According to Crawford, there has never been another fighter with Stevenson's specific skill set, which is why he remains confident in his abilities. He further said, "He's a great fighter. These fighters can't beat him, so they want to make him a normal fighter and fight the fight that they want him to fight because he is unnatural. He has his own style. There's no fighter in history that I can remember to have a style like Shakur Stevenson." However, not all analysts are dismissing Stevenson's chances. David Diamante is enthusiastic about the idea of Davis facing Stevenson. He acknowledges Davis's incredible power and marketability, which have helped him become one of the most electrifying fighters in the sport. However, Diamante believes Davis needs to take on tougher opponents to cement his legacy. While he recognizes Davis's talent, he argues that a true all-time great must test himself against the best. Diamante also holds Stevenson in high regard, calling him a generational talent. He believes that even if Stevenson were to lose, a strong performance against Davis could elevate his career. He drew comparisons to legends such as Sugar Ray Leonard, Manny Pacquiao, and Muhammad Ali, all of whom suffered losses, but still cemented their legacies through their willingness to take on the biggest challenges.
What do you want to see from Tank?
What you just said.
Yeah?
That's the fight. For me, right now, that's the fight. Because everyone loves Tank, and they should, because the guy's got power, he's got charisma, he's a hell of a fighter. But we want to see him fight at that top level. And I think Shakur, just no doubt, he's such a generational talent. Let's make this fight. Let's make this fight. Because even if somebody loses, it matters how you lose. Yes. It matters how you lose. If you fight like a warrior, you go out on your shield, whatever, you try your hardest, you come up a little short. Sugar Ray Leonard had losses, Manny Pacquiao had losses, Muhammad Ali had losses, they all had losses. Come on, guys. Let's give the fans the fights. That's what I want to see. It's not just about Tank and Shakur. It's about all these guys. Let's make these fights. And that's what I like about like a Steven Nelson, Diego Pacheco. It's a really tough fight.
Danny Garcia also weighed in, sharing his belief that a Davis-Stevenson fight could be one of the most compelling matchups in boxing. Garcia praised Davis for his raw power and physicality, asserting that Davis is simply too strong for most opponents in the lightweight division. However, he also acknowledged that Stevenson's high-level technical skills could create an interesting dynamic in the fight. While Davis's strength could be the deciding factor, Garcia believes Stevenson's precision and ring IQ could keep things competitive. This analysis highlights the complexity of the matchup, one that pits Stevenson's finesse against Davis's overwhelming knockout power.
That's a great fight, you know. I like Tank. I think Tank is too strong at that weight for anybody. 40, but skill for skill, I think it's a great fight.
Danny, appreciate it. James Toney took a more cautious approach when discussing Stevenson's readiness for Davis. While Toney respects Stevenson's skills, he questioned whether the young fighter is truly prepared for such a massive challenge. He likened Stevenson's situation to the recent bout between Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr., where Spence's lack of experience against top-level opponents ultimately led to his downfall. Toney warned that taking on Davis too soon could have negative consequences for Stevenson's career, possibly stalling his momentum if the fight doesn't go in his favor. He suggested that Stevenson may benefit from gaining more experience before stepping into the ring with someone as dangerous as Davis.
Given he wins on Saturday night, I know you keep your ear very close to boxing. What do you think of the potential fight of Gervonta and Shakur Stevenson? Would you like to see that fight, and if so, who would win?
Good fight, but you know what? Shakur Stevenson's a good fighter, but Shakur Stevenson ain't ready for that.
He's not ready?
Look, everybody in boxing, y'all young guys, y'all young so-called experts, y'all don't know shit about boxing. Y'all see something right about it? No, it don't work that way. You know, and my man, he securing young fighter, let him develop. And then when it's time, he make that move. But right now, he has the momentum.
So what are your thoughts about this? Do let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.